Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. NFL Divisional round, day number 2. We've got 2 games to look at today, but we've got a lot to talk about from yesterday, don't we? I think we do. I think today's show is going to be a little bit different, right? So I'm looking at the games here, doing some of my stream prep here, and I just got to be honest, guys. I think you saw it yesterday. These games are a bit unpredictable. Touchdowns have not really been coming from the places we're used to seeing, the people we're used to seeing. Yesterday, if you guys recall, I talked about Kenneth Walker. Loved Kenneth Walker. I'm like, man, it's at plus 115, plus 130, Kenneth Walker touchdown. And I thought that, it just had a feeling. Really just thought that, you're going to give your more explosive players the ball. Enter Rashid Shaheed. And that worked out. But I had a lot of people in the chat like, why not Charbonnet? You're right. Charbonnet's been the guy, been their red zone guy the last couple of weeks. Then later on, he goes down with an injury. So then that just, compounded what I was already saying. But what I'm saying, though, is that Josh Allen didn't get a touchdown yesterday. Everybody loved Josh Allen to get the touchdown. He was the number one play of the whole day. Josh Allen to get a touchdown. Josh Allen to do this. Didn't get it done. Threw 2 picks. One of them not his fault. One of them his fault. We're going to talk about that. All right? If you guys didn't watch the game yesterday, the controversial game. It's only controversial because it was a close game. The other one was a blowout. What are you going to have any controversy there? We're going to look at it. We're going to chat because we're football fans. We're sports fans first, right? Degenerate second. Good morning, Critch. I know what side Critch is on. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys might not like what I have to say today. All right. Especially if you're from that camp of the Bills, like, oh, we got screwed. I don't think you did here. All right. You know who got screwed? Potentially the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix wins the game. And allegedly, did he really break his ankle? He said the second last play of the game or whatever Sean Payton said. But are we sure it's the one? Some people were saying it was the kneel down play. Other people are saying it was that stupid, dumb play call where you boot Bo Nix out left. Okay, remember, he's a right-handed thrower. You boot him out left. You got one guy pulling to block. And I don't think there was ever an intention on him throwing that ball. So I don't think he had any options to throw the ball. So you boot him out. The defender makes a decent play there, and he just has to get hit. If that's the play he got hurt on, actually, I mean, honestly, it's either that or on the kneel down to recenter the ball, which, that's a freak injury. That would suck. But if it's one of those 2 plays, right? How ridiculous that potentially just cost them the Super Bowl on one of those 2 plays. One of them being really stupid. The other one being like so stupid and freak even. My goodness. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to dive into some stuff here and then we'll recap, we'll revisit yesterday's things. So really what I'm going to be looking at today is I'm going to be looking at some of the special plays. This is a 48.5 point total here. The Patriots won 16-3 last week, I think. The Texans game was 10-6 in the fourth quarter, like before they erupted. Do we really think that this game's going to be high scoring? Because I don't see it, guys. Again, I might be wrong. I was wrong on a decent amount of plays yesterday. It happens. All right. Yeah. So Critch said, what's good? Obviously, Critch, I know where you're at. We're going to talk about it. Isn't that why you have a running back stupid play call? Yeah. I mean, didn't RJ Harvey have like 8 touches the whole game or something? I thought I saw something stupid. I watched most of that game. I was out at a dinner, but I had it on the TV, my little phone propped up here, and I was watching it. I don't get it. Like, I don't think there was any option out there. Not that throwing across your body for a right-hander running like this to then turn and throw across your body. That's hard enough. But I don't even think they gave him an option. I think that was a designed run play call the entire time. And Bo Nix isn't a huge guy. I mean, he's not like a Josh Allen. So, like, he's not like one of these monster guys that can take these hits. Again, I think there was 20 play calls, 20,000 play calls. You could have done better right then and there. But overall, Sean Payton, Bo Nix, like, played a great game. Bo Nix threw some dimes there at the end. One of them was like a lofted ball, I thought, like, slipped out of his hands. But other than that, like, in that fourth quarter and overtime, the man delivered. And, I was doubting it a little bit. I got to be honest. I was doubting it, but only thing I saw that was somewhat fishy, the PI call. If you call the last two, you got to call it for Buffalo. I will say, Critch, that's the only thing I said. I believe it was Cooks again, actually. There was that fourth quarter play. I think we're talking about the same thing. Top right corner of the field there. So they were close to the end zone. I want to say it was within the 5-yard line. Maybe it was in the end zone even, if I'm remembering it. You know what? I think if I remember, I'm like, oh, they'll be down at the 1-yard line if they call this. Yeah, and the guy, I think, got there a little early or whatever it was. I saw that too. And I watched the replay and I was like, I think that's PI. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there too, man. Like, I feel like there was a lot of excuses being made. But I agree. If you're going to call them, just call it fair. And until that point, they've called nothing. Like, the whole game was like no penalties on either side. The entire game, right? Like, it was the whole game. But I will say, I agree with you. Now, setting that one aside, I thought the one penalty for sure that they called in overtime was like blatant PI that Trey White lost his mind over. Like, he lost his mind. I'm like, dude, that was blatant PI. Now, the other one before that they did get called on, I think was a little more ticky-tacky, I'll be honest, too. So, you like to see him swallow the whistle. I like Josh Allen. I'm going to say that. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback. You can't turn the ball over 4 times, even if it was 3 times. Okay, so take that Cook interception off of Josh Allen's shoulders, right? Whatever. He made a decent throw. You can't turn the ball over 3 times. 3 blatant mistakes on his part. I mean, so yes, we can talk about the penalties. We can talk about that. At the end of the day, he knows it. He knows it too. Why do you think he's so upset? It's so hard to get there. He knows he didn't play well enough. He didn't play up to his standards to get the job done. 3 turnovers is a lot. So I even take away that Cook one. 3's a lot, right? Like, I mean, you can't do that. He's running with that ball. And he always does it, and he holds it out, and he likes to pump fake guys. Well, that is what can happen. And it hadn't happened all year, but kudos to the Denver D. And that interception, guys, we're going to talk about that interception, all right? We're going to talk about the interception. That's going to be one of the most talked about plays for a long time. That interception, and we're going to talk about it. We'll look at it. Good morning, Python, my guy. Python, I got to be honest, guys. Like, Python, Critch, like, I looked at the slate. Critch, you got anything? If you're still checking this out, you got anything that you love? Like, look at all these touchdown bets here. All of them high plus odds. And I think that just goes to show you it's a freaking toss-up. It really is. Today's like a lotto ticket. Today is like, especially for this game right here, there ain't much I like. You know what I like? And I've talked about it all week. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. That's what I like. I know Nico's not going to be there. That's definitely going to hurt. And they might lose because of that. And that might be a big factor in it. CJ Stroud has a little more experience. Their defense is so nasty. I don't know. I just feel like the Texans, you know what sucks about all this, guys? The worst part is all of this is like either one of these teams. I mean, I haven't read the latest this morning on the Bo Nix stuff. I thought it was odd that they came out and like ruled them out immediately without like a second opinion or anything. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, they're like, that's so fast. They were like, yep, he broke his ankle. He's having surgery Tuesday, out for the season. Like, at this stage of the game, you don't talk to the team doctor and be like, hey, can we get a second and third opinion? Is it that blatant and obvious? The guy was walking. I mean, I know adrenaline plays into it, but like the man was walking. Are they going to sign a quarterback? What do we think is the most likely thing to happen? Ryan Tannehill. These are the people they're talking about, all right? Ryan Tannehill. If Phillip Rivers isn't on this list, that's crazy. But Ryan Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Drew Brees at 47, Andrew Luck. Don't put my boy up there. He's not coming back. Colin Kaepernick, never going to get hired in this scenario. Wow, Phillip Rivers wasn't even on that list. Is that because he's like signed or something? Is that like a thing they can't bring him in? Wow. That's their list of people. I think you got to go out and bring somebody in, right? You're not going to roll out. You're not going to roll out whatever his name is. I can't even remember his name. Exactly. Exactly. All right, we got a lot of this is just a football show today. This is just an NFL football talk. That was not a slip on the hand. It was, I'm gonna throw this up and get the PI call. Okay, that could be right. You know the one I'm talking about, right, Eddie? The ball looked like a duck, right? Like it was like, I mean, he'd been throwing some deep balls out there, and those all were different. You know, he likes to get a little arc on his and drop his in. That dime he threw to Lil Jordan was it Lil Jordan Humphrey? Who caught the game winner in overtime? Was it Lil Jordan? He made up for it the drop earlier. That drop was bad, and he made up for it. My guy, Bookie Brown. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, appreciate you, Bookie. Yes, sir. As always, guys, hope everything is well with you. I will echo what Bookie has said here. Do me a favor. Do me a favor, guys. Smash the like button, all right? We're just talking football. We're going to look at a couple of plays. Not as much for this game. I mean, I already kind of talked about that I like. I mean, for this game, I'm just going to use the app if I want to play anything, and I'm going to move on to the next game. So we might even just do that right now, right? We're going to look at some game specials and stuff. Some of these things that they offer us. What is it? The popular ones or something? Maybe some player specials, this kind of stuff. We're going to look at some of this kind of stuff today. Some of this fun stuff. But I mean, I feel like there's too much football to talk about, right? We got to get into it. Get Josh a name. I agree, Eddie, but they did have that. They had that. They had Stephon Diggs in his prime. Prime Stephon Diggs, right? And I agree with you. How do you not go out and target Jacoby Myers or Raheed Shaheed? Mishka. Thank you, T. That was Mims. And then he hit his back on the camera. I was like, how did he hurt his lower back on that play? I'm going down the list. I'm going to get to all you guys. We're talking sports. Let's keep this going. This is fun. This is more, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm having more fun than even our regular betting shows. I mean, our regular betting shows are fun. By the way, NHL last night, little disappointing. Disappointing. We went 2-1. Disappointing. We did. We went 2-1. That is unfortunate. And then I played the top 6 plays, and that was the only one that missed. That same one that was in the top 3 obviously crushed the top 6. But the other 3 hit. So we went 5-1 too. It's crazy. It's so funny that our Discord, we're so spoiled now where we're like, oh, 5-1, big bummer, because we parlay them together. You know, we'll figure it out. Round robin, I think, is interesting. Although I looked at doing it today, and it doesn't really make sense with only limited amount of games. So we're going to look at that this week. Devontae Adams is the only touchdown play I like today. You know, yeah, him or Puka, right? I don't mind Puka just because Puka's a dog. Puka is a dog. And if you get a little snow in this game, Puka's just gonna scrap. He's like a mutter, you know, and like the race horses that like the slop, they like the mud. I think Puka's just a mutter. I know he's like a Hawaiian boy, or he's like, you know, he's not necessarily a snow guy, but I could just see Puka being like, I don't care. I don't care. Just like running people over, right? Like, am I just picturing this in my head of like just something insane, right? Just like destroying people, catching a slant, running over, dragging 3 guys in the snow, getting up, freaking out, throwing his hands down. Yeah, Puka's just going to go nuts. Rams versus Pats. You know, it's so sad, though, that they're just going to walk right through. I don't think that's fair for anybody. Bo Nix gets hurt, so now whoever wins this game is sitting there like, you know, that gif of like the back of your head is ridiculous from Mad TV back in the day. I'm really dating myself here, I think. But yeah, he's like licking his lips. That's how they are now. Oof. The Pats. I mean, are the Pats the team though anymore? You know, if you're gonna I mean, if you're really writing this, we could talk about this. If you're really writing the script, isn't the Bills the script now at this point? Josh Allen having a baby, wife in Hollywood. Isn't this like the script now for them? Wouldn't it be for them? Or maybe they're just still build the hype, build the hype, build the hype. Maybe. I hope it's not rigged because, otherwise I'm just wasting my time. Puka and Hunter Henry TD. Yeah, he loves Hunter Henry. Loves Hunter Henry. T, I like the plays. Listen, T Sox is feeding the fam. So I always back our sharp people in the Discord. So if that's what T likes, that's what I like. I know. Eddie, you're not wrong. You're not saying anything I don't you're not saying anything I don't know. You're right. Stroud did not look good last week. My thought is their defense is good enough to carry them a long way. That defense is phenomenal. And Stroud looked so good. He's shown flashes that I think if he can just do that, if Stroud can just do that, go back to the Stroud of his rookie season, then I think they got a good shot. I really do. So Mims caught that ball. Yeah, crashed into a camera and hit his back with the handle. I know, I saw it. He was like holding his back. I was like, what did he do? What did he do? All right. We talked about it a little bit, but I did have it queued up. I figured, hold on a minute. Where is it? There it is. I figured that maybe we would watch it because I figured, and I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. I'm sure I could do this, but I figured we'd watch it together. Right. And let's talk through it real quick. Huh? I know this is going to be a little controversial, but like we love sports. Why wouldn't we? I got no sound. So, okay. So ready? I like it. I like this. We're going to break it down. Wait. Let me make sure it's 1080 for you guys. Yep. Oh, no. Oh, that's the best I could do is 720. All right. So you know what we can do? I can slow it down. Here we go. We're going to really break this down. Is that a catch right there? Because if that's a catch, I don't know, because they're both fighting for it, right? Clearly this dude has his hands on it. Cooks definitely had a good grip on it. I'll say that. I'm not denying that. He's got a relatively good grip right there. But he does, look at right now, this dude's hand is on the tip of the ball, right? What was his name? McMillan? McMillan's hand, hold on. If I can get us a better quality video, I'm going to do that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, chat. We need to really break this down. Oh my gosh, the Bills local paper says 10 photos show the controversial interception call that stunned the Bills fans. You can't look at a still shot. In no way, shape, or form can you look at a still shot. Also, I would like to point out, hold on, there is another play that I think is valuable. Okay, I think we have to assess the whole thing here, guys. So if we're going to do this, we're going to do this the right way. Okay, hold on. I submit lots of stuff. Possession does go to the receiver. This is why we're having this good conversation. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a good conversation. Okay. I submit this to you. This is a nice 1080p. Hopefully you guys can see it pretty well here. This is a play from, I think, earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I just want to know. I'm not saying anything. Wait, we're going to remove. I just want to know. Okay, look at that. I just want to know how much different this one is. And I just want to talk it out. This is a safe space. We're going to have a fun, friendly discussion about this. Look at this. Okay. 2 hands wrapped around. Now, I know his arm is inside of it, but he doesn't even have his hand on the ball, the defender. Now, right there, he's losing it. Now, I'll admit, he is losing it a little bit earlier, it looks like. Here's a good angle. Okay. Right there. Catch. 1, 2. Another foot down. Going down to the ground right there. Now, right here It's very much close to a toss-up. I think right here, he's starting to get it, but Hill still has it. Right there, he's losing it. Now he's losing it. That's where I'll say, okay, that Steelers guy is getting it right here. Right here, Steelers guy's getting it. I will say it's pretty close-ish to similar. And for the record, I just want to submit that this was called an interception as well. So that's, oops, I don't know what I just clicked. I didn't mean to click that. I don't know if this is any better or not, actually. So let's just watch this one. Okay, so similar. Now, right here, though, so right here, are you going to say that him having it tucked, Cooks has it tucked, right? And McMillan's trying to pull it away. Obviously, you see all that space here. But he's got two hands on it. I think they both right now have two hands on it. And you're right, possession goes to the receiver. Oh, come on, bro. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see any of that. Oh, and that's the call. Oh. I guess that's all we got. That's a tough one. You know what else here, too? This is the thing you have to remember, too, is on the field, it was called an interception. So you could argue that that was wrong, too. But now it's like you need indisputable evidence. I think if that was ruled not a pick, my guess is it probably stays not a pick, too. So it's like one of those things that whatever was called on the field is what's going to stand. So it was, I'm curious, are people split on that, or is it 70-30? Do most people think that was not an interception, or is it really like 50-50 split? Let's take a vote. Somebody, if you think it's an interception, just type interception in the chat, or INT. If you think it was a catch, type a catch. INT or catch. I'm just curious. I am curious. All right, so let's look at this game, because I think this game's the one that has some actual value here, some really good, decent value. Now, the snow is supposed to be a thing. 11-mile-an-hour winds, 19 degrees, snow is likely. Does that really affect these guys that much? I don't necessarily think it's going to have a huge impact on the game, but I'm not a weatherman. So I don't want to go too far out of my way and try to say that I pretend to know what's going on with that or anything. But so I'm curious here. Okay, yeah, there's always going to be snow, but like I'm just curious of like, do we think it affects the game? So if we're assuming it doesn't affect the game, then we're going to look at some of this right here. We're going to look over here at Caleb Williams, 100 yards passing in each half or something, because I do think Caleb can sling the ball against this Rams defense. I don't think they're going to really give him a ton of problems. This Puka Nacua line is a little bit juicy, but 25 plus receiving in each half is really not too bad. Matt Stafford, 100 plus. Can we put any of them together? No, it doesn't look like you can. No, you can't. Can we put these with anything else? Like, are these just straight up? No, you can't do any of this, right? No. Okay. So it's all straights here. I wish I had a better handle on what. I wonder what. Yeah, but if it's not a lot of snow, though, like it says likely snow. Conversely, the Houston Texans and Patriots game says definite snow. Again, I'm not a weatherman. I'm just delivering what the internet says. So I don't know if it's going to actually affect it. I mean, if it's a light flurry, it's not going to affect it. But if it's snow down, if it's really coming down and the field's covered and stuff, that's going to affect people's ability to cut and that kind of thing. I think it affects some of the guys like DeAndre Swift's ability to cut and everything. So maybe you get more of like straight rushes up the middle, straight, like one cut and go kind of thing. He's not going to be able to make people miss like he usually does. I actually think maybe Blake Corum's a nice play in this one. I feel like Blake Corum is going to be a good snow running back here. He runs hard. He runs more straight. Kyren Williams a little bit more shifty. If the Rams are winning, they're 3.5-point favorites right now. If the Rams are winning in this game, You know, they get an opportunity to run the ball a little bit more, maybe if they can't throw. So if you're in the camp that you think, yeah, the snow, you know, Bookie, you're saying like it could be windy, could be snowy. I think it sounds like you're saying you think it could have an effect on the game. So I think you potentially go the route of like, let's look at some of the running backs then and go with the running back props. And you don't have to go crazy on them. I mean, you could just do something like 40, actually probably Kyron 50 plus or something like that. Plus 260, something light and easy. And then somebody's scoring a touchdown. Kyron's probably getting in the end zone here or something like that. I don't think you need to do it. I think you could do something like Kyron 50 plus and then just a touchdown. That's pretty light. 50 might be a little bit high for this just because, you know, they like to throw the ball. Here's DK doing that thing again. They're going to throw the rock. They've shown you that they'll throw the ball. They'll throw those 1 yard screen passes. I mean, maybe the Bears try to jump one of those, though. I mean, you know it's coming. They throw those plays to Davante Adams all the time, and he kind of goes up to the line and gives them like a jab step, like 1, 2, cut. So it's like, no, so it'd be left foot. So he started on his left foot when he does it because he usually runs it from that left side, I feel like. The Bears don't have any lockdown corners or anything like that. Nobody that's going to shut down those things. So, yeah, I think T said that she liked the Davante Adams touchdown. And I don't blame her at all there. I mean, I think that's a solid play. These would be some of the two guys, maybe Monungai. You put the big guy in at the goal line here, the bigger running back. Colston Loveland's playing phenomenal, but touchdowns have been volatile. So I'm not going to go too heavy on touchdowns. Just not going to go too crazy on touchdowns. Let's go back over. I just want to see a couple of these other player specials or game specials even too. Davante Adams, 25 in each half. Colston Loveland, 25 in each half's not bad. That puts him at 50 for the game. What's his receiving prop at? Let's take a look at Loveland. Oh, yeah, we've got Luther Burden here. Luther Burden's line being at 35.5 on Fanatics is actually pretty good value there, I think. Oh, I like it. I like the boots on the ground. So what do we got? We've got a catch. TD King says catch. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Andrew? We got a catch, an INT. So 2-1 right now. Okay. Yeah, Monungai, the Bears power back, right? Who's a better ball handler? Who has better ball security? I'm not familiar with how did Swift used to have a fumbling problem? So his stats show a relatively low fumble count, but he's experienced them in a couple of bad times. So, okay. So he's not a fumbler. Only 13 fumbles in his career. That's actually not that bad, I don't feel like. All right, so we got a boots on the ground weather report right here. One town away from Foxborough, there's a half an inch on the ground, which is not much. Stop snowing, so it's done for now. And then Eddie says it's going to snow again today, 2 to 4 inches. I mean, is it blustery, Eddie? Go outside and do one of these. We need one of those. My non-boots on the ground is showing about 4 miles per hour out of the southeast. Tell me if you concur with that. It'll be interesting to see. I will say, though, maybe unpopular opinion. When I get to playoffs, I'm a little bit less concerned with the DVP season-long data. And I think here's one of the biggest arguments in my corner is look at yesterday. Didn't the Broncos have the number 2 rush defense in the league? And they got gashed. Not only by Joshua Allen, but they got gashed by James Cook. James Cook was popping off 26 yards, 12 yards, 15 yards. My gosh, gashed. So the DVP stuff, I think once you get to the playoffs, I'm not saying the defense goes away, but I'm saying the DVP specific, good against tight ends, I think teams just scheme differently and game plan differently and pull out some new wrinkles and stuff. So as far as like being, I'm going to lean more of like, I tend to be in the camp of like leaning more on like, how are guys playing? Loveland's playing really well. His confidence is high. Caleb Williams obviously has more confidence in him as of late too. With that being said, though, I will go back to the fact that like this Bears offense, they spread the ball around really well, and that's probably really well. They spread they spread they spread the ball around pretty well, right? They'll give it to Loveland. He'll have a big game. Roma Dunze's been this forgotten man out there, but at any given time, I feel like he could have a good game. DJ Moore's won the game for him a couple of times this year, especially when Rome wasn't there and Luther Burden was out. And Luther Burden kind of came out of nowhere. And like, so it's like, it could be, they have Cole Kmet still floating around out there still, right? Yeah. So it could be any of these guys. So I don't really want to try. It's like the Bills receivers. I mean, Shakir's really done well in the playoffs. I don't really want to try and predict where that volume is going to come from. So the way I'm going to get my exposure to it, if I like it, it's just going to be with this guy right here. Then I get everybody, right? Then I got all of them. Unless they run a stupid trick play, end around reverse where DJ Moore throws the ball, could happen. Then you just play this if you like that. Now, Stafford is a little bit easier because if Stafford has a big game, who's having a big game, right? It's more than likely these two guys. You maybe sprinkle a little Colby Parkinson in there. But like something like that, because, Stafford's going to have a big game. What if, I don't like going under on receptions this week. Another week, maybe I would go like an under over here, a little anti-correlation. But so I think a couple of those are good options. I think you could do something like that. If you're in the camp that the weather's really not, look at that, for one more yard, you get a couple more cents, 4 more cents. I'll take a free 4 cents. Yeah, Devontae, I think, let's see, what was his snaps like? Oh, wow, he did have a good week last week. What was his snaps like since he came back? No, down here. Snaps. Oh, back to a ton of snaps. Yeah, maybe Devontae's a nice, easy way to go. 57 for Devontae. What about 50 and like 90? And now you're counting for 140 yards, so it's a 162. Let's do Matt Stafford 200 plus. Nothing. You're not getting nothing on that. I think both these things happen? I do. Do I think there's like a lot of value there? Not really. I don't. You could, so what you'll need to do is you'll need to do something like this or go with Kyren Williams. That's not bad. You know what? We're going to take that one. We're going to snip that. A little dabble. Little dabble. And if you want to run it back on the other side, then just do what I said. Just take Caleb Williams. I don't think they win the game with Swift, right? Like, I don't think they can win the game if Swift's the reason they're winning. Call me crazy. I just don't. I don't think they win the game with Swift. The Bears are going to have to score, and they're going to have to put up some points. I actually don't mind that right there. Caleb, anytime touchdown, let us down last week, Andrew. So I'm kind of bitter on it. It's actually like supposed to be a banned word in here. The YouTube chat algorithm was supposed to ban that. Caleb ATD. That was on the list. I'm going to have to look at my settings and make sure that it's still on top of it. I'm just kidding. Part of that is true, but not all of it. Not the band thing. Yeah, he ruined our Bryce Young first round of the playoffs. Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, anytime touchdown parlay for like a plus 7,000. He ruined it, or plus 4,000. Really sad. I mean, I think you could get it running it in for sure. Which tight end for the Texans is scoring? Dalton Schultz or Cade Stover? Can anybody help me with the choice, Martez? Got you. If you want to play one of them. Now, again, Martez, I don't know if you saw it, but we talked about it's a low over under here. You know who you play in that game. Just play Cayenne Fairburn. Play him Kiami Fairburn. There you go. Yeah, I'm with you, TD King. That's kind of how I feel, but we're gonna talk. We'll talk. This is what I would play. I like this. I know that the DGen dads are big on this play, and I mean, my goodness, this is what the freak. Pretty crazy, and especially in a lower scoring game, 40.5 point total, where points are going to be at a premium. You're kicking field goals in this game. I really think they're going to be kicking field goals in this game. But let me see. You asked the question, Martez, so I'm going to honor your question. Absolutely. I don't really love either one of them, right? I'm just going to put out there. If there's a tight end that's scoring a touchdown today, my favorite preference in order would be Hunter Henry and Colby Parkinson in that order, right? And look at that. Confidence score agrees. 31.9, 29. Perfect. But Dalton Schultz is the highest one out of those two at 24.9. Basically just means he has a 24.9% probability. So, it's not great, but touchdowns are volatile and anything can happen in the playoffs. So watch you be right too. Cade Stover, though, is the other one you wanted to see. Yeah, that's pretty low. That's pretty low. Hasn't scored one on the season. That's not to listen. A lineman scored a touchdown yesterday, so like that does happen. Those kind of, I mean, I know that's kind of a thing. That was a thing, but like, so that's not to say it can't happen. So if you feel strongly about it, put a little sprinkle on it. You know what I mean? Put a little tiny bit. If your unit size is $1, put 10 cents on it. No big deal. But yeah, Martez, I don't really like either one of them. But if you had to choose, gun to your head, maybe that's a bad expression. I don't know how to better say that. You may have to make a choice no matter what. I would go with Schultz. Oh, my guy, Mad Dog. Yeah, same thoughts of like, maybe we just avoid a lot of landmines that are out here. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. My guy, better late than never, as Drake once said, right? Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you hopping in. Yeah, we're going with the field goals. I like the field goals. I think that's a way to go. Kiami Fairburn here. Did I spell it wrong? I did. Why didn't I just go with the easier one, the Fairburn? Oh, that's because I'm on anytime touchdown. Silly man. There we go. Last year, Bears and Rams. Swift had a huge game. I don't even think I realize that. Woo! Head to head. 929. Was that last year? No, had to be this year, right? Puka 2 touchdowns, Matt to throw 3. Ooh, I mean, that's the game. If you're playing anything, you're playing this game, right? If you're really playing it, the other game just scares me too much. Again, I know it. We're degenerates. We want to bet on everything. I get it. Just be smart about it. That's all. Just be careful. Be smart. I don't think you're getting a lot of touchdowns in that first game. So am I going to go through and build a 3-touchdown parlay out of it? No. I don't think that's wise. Are 3 people going to score a touchdown in that game? Possibly, probably. 53%. Yes. 47% no. But like, do I know who those are? Confident enough to put my hard-earned American dollars that I got to go to work on Monday and make up for when I lose? No. Not me. Not me, at least. I mean, maybe that's the play. Maybe the play is just true lotto tickets. All right, you guys got this one. I'm closing this out. Maybe that's the play. Ooh. DK, have you, someone as an affiliate of DraftKings been watching our stream? We've been having some issues with it occasionally the last couple of weeks, but I will say with only 2 games, putting that right up there, being able to go back and forth, a little toggle, even though I'm zoomed in, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is what we could do. A little dart throw. I mean, 2 touchdowns here and the first touchdown for Christian Kirk. I mean, I wouldn't put them together necessarily, but, or like a Drake May to run one in here, to run the first one in. right? Like if we're going to throw darts, let's throw darts. Pop. Good old Pop Douglas. Demario Douglas. Pop Douglas. I mean, if we're going to go that route, we're going that route. Oh, good morning, twins. Good morning, buddy. Appreciate you. Good morning, bro. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Yeah, so that's just my honest opinion, guys. I know, you might have come in here looking for me to line your pockets here, but we got to be smart, guys. This is getting to the point, you got limited options here. Just bet NHL, all right? Doesn't have to be as fun, but it's making a lot of money. What was the weather like, Eddie? Was that a bad weather game? Yeah, I mean, Swift's been playing great lately. And if the weather really is going to impact the game, he's probably going to get more touches. I just hope these games are good, right? Like I hope we get some good games today. That game last night was just oof. I didn't even watch. I didn't watch the whole thing. I mean, good for Raheed Shaheed coming out the gate, setting the tempo, just blazing fast. Gets tripped up, maintains his balance. Could you imagine? The NFL is such a game of inches. If Rashid Shaheed gets tripped up and falls on that opening kickoff, granted, great return, still like a 50-yard, he gets the ball at the 50-yard line, but like, it's so funny. That could change the entire trajectory of the game right there. But instead, he maintains his balance, comes out the gate hot. The crowd is fired up. They're going crazy, and it's just like a slaughter from there. But like, anybody else think of those things? Does anybody else think of those things? Like if he had just gotten shoestringed there and goes down, like maybe that game goes a little bit differently. I'm not saying Seahawks don't win. I picked the Seahawks to win that game, but like maybe it's a close game. I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Family, friends, loved ones. I love hanging out with you guys. NFL kind of stinks, right? We're getting to the end. It stinks that we're getting to the end here. Next week, we'll only have 2 games to talk about. One Sunday morning stream next week. One Sunday morning live stream. I mean, if people will pop in for a live stream, maybe like a 15-minute one during the off season every week, I'll hop on. We'll talk football. We'll talk football moves. We'll talk transactions, coaching changes. We'll talk the draft. Although I'm not going to pretend to be some guru, but we'll have fun. I'll tell you that much. I'm happy to do all that. We can chat. We'll do this off-season stuff. We'll do NHL stuff. We'll win MLB. MLB is we're gonna be winning so much though this summer on the sports that aren't quite as fun to get ready for next NFL season. But you guys let me know. I want you guys to drive the content. If you guys tell me you want an NFL show with a little sprinkle of like some NHL plays just so we can get some money, that's what I'll do. If you say, I don't want none of that, I just want NFL, that's what we'll do. You tell me you want NHL and we'll only talk NFL when it's a really big deal, do that. It was cold, not bad. Swift hasn't had more than 3 catches in 8 weeks. I think this Houston D will get a pick 6. Only a plus 500 for these defenses to score. Does anybody feel like that's kind of like highway robbery? Right? Now, I know you get the whole defense, but still, defensive touchdowns, I feel like we're not getting the odds we deserve there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll know Ben Johnson. Very different now. That's true, Eddie. You almost kind of got to throw that out the window. Because, like, okay, does Swift have some secret sauce against this D? Probably not. Did he get more opportunities last year? Now he might not because he's got a different coach. Maybe. Like, the circumstances have changed so much. The weather was different, probably. I don't know, just a lot. You're right, though. Just a lot of things. It's interesting. Now, I like to see a couple of things. I like to see a couple of instances before I'm like, okay, like this is a thing. Like, I don't know, for a while, Josh Allen's rushing on the road was big. It was a big thing. Josh Allen's road rushing, Lamar's higher than 7 rush attempts per game. Like these things become a thing where you're like, okay, I can rely on that because there's been enough of a sample. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Drake May run one in. So if you want to sprinkle on him for a first touchdown, you could almost, this isn't going to help anybody, but you could almost convince me of anything here. You could almost convince me of anything, but I don't know if I'm playing it at plus 500. I'd play it something like this. If we want to do a first touchdown, I'm going to throw one in right here. I'm going to do Hunter Henry. Right there. I don't know if it's going to hit. I'm not going to sit up here and be like this. Not going to do this. That's the one. That right there. That's the one. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to you. I don't know. I don't know if it's the one. Roger Goodell and I haven't talked in weeks. We're on the outs. Severed that relationship. Not Bears. Rams Seahawks NFC Championship game would be a good game. That would be a good game. All right, guys. I love you. You know I do. You know I do. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all your comments. We had a huge chat today. Guys, super humbled, super grateful for that. Love the chat. Love the constant comments we're getting. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you guys aren't in the Discord, Mad Dog, Touchdown King, Martez, Eddie, hop in the Discord, guys. We have these conversations all the time in there. That's a great place to continue these things. They get us through the week, chat about anything. We got people talking about we got twins being born in our Discord. Super excited for that. We've got life changes, job changes, excitement, joy, sorrow. We got everything in the Discord. It's just a great community of people. And we talk a ton of sports. And we're betting every day. We're degenerates. It's great. It's an absolutely fantastic community. If you guys aren't in there already, I really hope I just sold you on it because I really mean it. It really is that good. So have a great week. I appreciate every one of you guys. Hopefully we get some good football today. Have a blessed week. Have a great week at work. And I will catch you guys on the live video next week. And please do me a favor and just like and comment on the videos I put out throughout the week. I've been doing shorts every single day. I'm grateful for you guys. Humbled. Later, Mad Dog. Catch you guys later. Have a great Sunday.